I really believe as a Christian that there are two conversions, not just one, and that all of us are going to face, when we go to heaven, a final exam that's our final accountability for our lives, on which there are going to be two questions. The first question is, what did you do about Jesus? Your friends have talked about it. You've been to church for years. Did you accept, or did you partially accept or turn your back on Christ? The second question, though, is, what are you going to do with what I gave you to work with, you personally, not Billy Graham or your pastor or your young life leader or anybody like that, but what are you going to do with what I embedded in your life, the gifts in your life, the belief structure in your life, all the circumstances of your life, including the sometimes awful circumstances. And I stepped aside and asked myself two questions. I said, what am I going to lose with all this gaining behavior that I'm doing? And that led to a second question, which was, if my life really worked out, what would be the elements in that life? What would be the parts of my life that would be working? And the money goals were to make an amount of money that I call my 4-minute mile. That was sometime in my lifetime. And then the other money goal was to reinvest that same amount of money in God's kingdom, which was the most leverage I could imagine for that money. And basically, my mission is for the last check to bounce. If my wife and I were both to go simultaneously, all the money would go in the kingdom, and I simply hope I can to stay alive long enough to be the one to spend it. I'd like to basically reinvest the money that I've been fortunate enough to make in my lifetime myself. So that was that one, and so I'm vigorously embarked on doing that. The two focal points of that in Leadership Network, which I founded 23 years ago, are the development of leadership in large churches and helping people, this massive thundering herd of baby boomers that have been pounding along about 10 years younger than I am, to answer the question, what am I going to do when I grow up? And when I begin to say, as so many people are nowadays, been there, done that, what's next? And particularly what's next as it relates to my relationship with the Lord and relationship with other people.